Good evening again, everyone. So I'll be giving you or showing you a few 6 best practices for online class navigation, specifically for team pathways. But this also applies to any online learning. Um, we all experience classroom studying in school, but online learning is totally different. Here are the 6 best practices to show you to study online and achieve online study success in pathways. Note that this doesn't apply only for pathways, but also in other online learning. So tip number 1, I would suggest choose a fast web browser. There's heaps of them. Um, there's um, uh, there's the Internet Explorer, the Firefox, the Opera, Chrome, and Safari. Now, these are all just popular, but I do recommend that you explore what best suits your taste. I personally use Chrome and Opera myself, but any of these will work with Pathways Basecamp. Now, let's launch our Pathways curriculum. So when you log in to Toastmaster website, you will be presented by this page. Now to go to straight away, a quick launch to Basecamp, all you have to do is click that welcome, for example, your name, in this case, welcome Christina link. This will go straight to your Pathways Basecamp. From here, you can click this enrolled one path, go to my transcript. This will go straight to your transcript. And you will be presented by a list of all your education transcript at the moment. So at the moment, I have only filtered, when you look, there's a filter next to below. So at the moment, I only filtered it to curriculum. So when you click the open curriculum, this will go straight to your current project or your current pathways. So it will be presented to whatever stage you are in at the moment. In my case, I'm on level 2 for my leadership development pathways. And I have already activated all my projects for this level. For this specific level, I can do any of this project at any order. At the moment, I have already completed the Understanding Your Leadership Style project. So my next goal is to do the Managing Time project. So to do that, you need to click Launch. Now, tip number 2 for online learning, on any online learning, be patient. Let me just go back one presentation. When you click launch, this is what's gonna happen. It will present it to you a new page, and it's a loading title. One moment, please. Now, it depends with your internet browser or your internet connection. This may take a few minutes, but if you have NBN, it's really quick. After a few seconds, it will launch a new window, a new pop-up window. In fact, it will give you this. Now, I have seen a lot of the members that struggled with this first view, because when they see this page, they don't know what to do with it. This is where the tip number 3 comes. Make sure to resize the pop-up window. Or, better yet, click that maximize button, that little square button at the top right hand. Click that, and when that happens, you will have a better view of the entire page. So what are the few things that you need to take note? You have the left arrow. This means you can go back. So every page of your online page of the online pathways, you will have the same navigation. So that arrow means you can go back one page, or move forward. And the last thing, the most important thing I think, is this section. So these sections allows you to move to jump from one section or from one section and of your project. Tip number 4, moving to another section. So when you click that little drop down at the bottom, you will be presented by subsection of your project. Now you don't have, if you already, so why is this important? So let's just say you're going through your online learning and you have to close and repeat again after some time. You don't have to to start all over again from the beginning. You can jump from one section to another and go back and review. So I find this really useful for members wanting to do just one section at a time. So it's really important to get to know about this navigation. So you have your um, back, forward, and your section navigation. Um, do we have any question yet before I move on to the next topic? Next tip?
Not a question yet, but we've had a couple of other people come into the room, and welcome to those.
Welcome to the newly login people. Hello. Okay. Tip number 5, click the next button. So this is different from the arrow buttons. I'll show you where you can see this. At some point, there will be a screen that will show you something similar with this one. So you still have the arrow, the back arrow, and the next arrow, and you still have the usual section navigation. But come close, inside, you will see the next back button. Now this one, when you click this one, it doesn't goes to another page. Instead, it's another page within the page. You have to click you need to go through all these buttons. So if you see there's a button there, you have to go through each page until you see the next button grayed out. And then after that, finally, you're ready to go to the next page. Now, tip number 6, click My Project. Now, a lot of members are asking where are their evaluation form, where's their project list. They get confused where to find all the resources. I would recommend, if there's one thing that you need to download, that is your project. That contains all the resources. So when there will be a page where you can see all the resources. There's evaluation resources, print my project, time and task log, and project completion form. You will actually only need to download the print my project. Why? Because the print my project, once you click that, it will open a PDF. And this PDF contains everything. Let me just go back. That PDF, it will contain your evaluation resource, the time and task log, and project completion form. So it depends on the project that you're doing at the moment. It actually contains everything you need for your project. So you only have to download one PDF format. So this PDF format, so a few of our members really struggles with the online training with the Basecamp. So what I do for them is I download the PDF format, this project, their project, and then send it to them or print it to them to give so that they can actually do the project without logging into Toastmaster. So this really helpful because everything that they do online on the Basecamp is actually here. So they can print it. It's actually like a manual. So it contains everything. All the evaluation, all the resources they need, it's all there. So you can download it and you can save it in your laptop, computer, or even save it on your smartphone, or you can print it. So to summarize, for my tips, tip number 1, choose a fast web browser that you are familiar with. Don't forget, don't be afraid to explore the other web browser. And by the way, Internet Explorer is the slowest slowest web browser. My opinion. Tip number 2, be patient. So when you click something, make sure just wait and see what's going to happen. Tip number 3, resize the pop-up window. Make sure that you can see all the back and the forward arrow and the navigation for the section. Next, make yourself familiarized with the other section, the navigation for the section. And tip number 5, click that next button before clicking the arrow button. And lastly, click that print my project for your reference. Thank you. Do we have any other question? Do you have any question?
Yes, Debbie Rose, go ahead.
Okay, now Christina, I've gone on and I've printed off the level 1 for everybody as well, or downloaded it, I should say. You do that for level 2, etc. as well. Can you access those as well?
You can access them, yes.
Okay, so how, as VPE, do I access that? We've only just got someone who's just gone into level 2.
Well, unfortunately, if it's not on your project, you will not be able to print it for yourself.
Oh,
So what I do, like, Ravi, so what I
yeah.
do for one member who's struggling with the online, so I know his credentials, so I log in for him and then download it for him. And
Oh, I see.
so there's really no other way. We can't really, as a VPE, we don't have access to other members' projects.
No, that's what I was thinking.
No,
That's
we don't.
okay.
Unless,
That's all right.
of course, you're doing the same pathways.
Yes, that's all right. Fine. Thank you.
That was a great question, Debbie Rose, because that's come up a few times for me where people have needed to see what is in the project and they are really struggling with the computerized method of doing so. And so I agree with Christina, go in and do it for them. In most of the cases that I've had so far, I've actually had that project sitting there because after a while, when you've done a few paths, you've just about got everything at your fingertips. But for people that struggle, and I'm saying, people that would have a problem with their eyesight or cognitive problems, then that's the right thing to do to support them.
Yes. Thank you.
I think Helen had a question.
Helen, you're on mute. Yeah.
What's the point of printing?
Helen, can you say that again, please?
Apart from printing for other people, what is the point of printing?
So the PDF, the printed version, so it's like you're having a manual with you.
Oh, okay. Is
So
that the
it's
only
the manual version?
advantage? There's no
I'm sorry?
There's no point in printing if you can work online, is there?
Yeah, it depends. Like, not all people are comfortable working with the computer, and some people are still prefer the paper version. So it's like they still want to read from a paper format. So it depends on your preferences. You don't have to, but if you want to, it's really handy to have that PDF version.
And I've found
Yes,
that
Abby.
some of them like to print it off because they haven't actually got a laptop themselves. They use their tablet or their phone. And so having the printed version makes it a lot easier for them.
But I hear what you're saying there, Helen, that if you are comfortable online,
That's right.
then you don't need to print.
Exactly.
But if you are in a role where you're supporting others, it's a good idea to have a bank of those in the background. So have a folder system on your own computer. I have all of my paths in separate folders and then a level for each path and all of my projects stored in there, because when someone asks you for something, if you've got it right there at your fingertips, it's just as easy to send them a copy like that.
That in Google. You do it on Google Drive?
No, in my computer drive.
You mean your hard drive?
In my own hard drive, yeah. But the other thing that you might consider is what you've mentioned. If you've got some of the basic ones, that are available to everybody in levels 1 and 2, then you might store some of those in a Google Drive, especially the evaluation forms.
Yeah, we've put level 1 into the private member Facebook page as file.
Yes, a lot of people are doing that. I think the more support that we give to those who are struggling, the less problems they're going to have in the future. And when we look at our stats for the adoption rates in pathways in Australia, we are ahead of the world.
Oh, nice.
Yes, according to the stats provided by Sue Pederick, our PQD, who is here with us tonight, we are in front. Sue, would you like a moment of time to explain?
Yes, we definitely are in